everyone. Welcome back to Tottenham on Tour, here live on the place of chill that is the Coffee Company. And we have a new show that we're debuting today that I came up with within 15 minutes. So we're going to be joined by different co-hosts, or maybe we can keep some of them for a bit longer. But here's the idea. Half an hour long, news headlines, let's all go to work. So today we're joined by Mr. David. How are you doing, Mr. David?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you. Looking forward to this new style of basically stream.
Yeah, it's great, right? It's great. It's great. And hopefully it actually works. But let's see who is in the chat this morning. One of which has actually given us one of the ideas for the show. So thank you. Thank you, Anir Ban. Hopefully you're well. Good to see you. Andrew Gregory, good to see you. We got Phil P. Woo! Dexter Morningstar. We've got Graham Hill, Raider Yid. I am in Korea. Mark Cousins, Sean Slayer, Fran, MZ, and Shemtang. Right, so we got a few news headlines, David. We got a few news headlines, starting with which Son Heung-min is coming home. Because Korea lost yesterday to Jordan in the Asia Trophy or the Asia Cup. What's your thoughts on the news headlines?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad in a way that he's coming home. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously, with the running we've got coming up, we could really do with him. But my God, he was played way too much by Klinsmann. And I mean, he had strapping on his knee. He just didn't look fit in that Jordan game. He looked knackered.
Yeah.
So it's good that he's coming home. I'm glad. I don't think he's going to be ready for Brighton. I think he's going to need a little bit of a break. Do you know what I mean? Because he's played a lot of football. And I mean, they were a bit lackluster against Jordan, weren't they? Jordan turned up. They were fantastic. And, on a personal note, I don't like the fact that the Asian Games at this point of the season, same as AFCON. I understand why, but I don't like it. So I'm kind of happy he's coming home, and I'm kind of happy they're coming out knocked out. But I am gutted for him that he didn't go on to the final and win a trophy, because I think he deserves it, doesn't he? I mean, if anyone deserves a trophy in football, it's Sonny.
Absolutely. The way I see it is that there's too much football. There is too much football. And you've got Son looks absolutely knackered. It wouldn't surprise me if he's already picked up an injury, which is why, and they have to play him, Korea. They have to play him. There is no one else that can fill his shoes as a footballer. There is no one else. So they have to play him, and it's really worrying for the rest of the season. Hopefully, we can nurse him back in just like we nursed Pape Sarr. But do you think I think we need Sonny this weekend versus Brighton. I think we look dreadful.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is when we've seen Sonny when he's got like a little injury or something like that. You look at when he had that groin injury, he just couldn't do nothing. He was ineffective. He was more of a passenger than anything. He was more of a hindrance in them games. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I mean, give him 20 minutes or something like that. But I mean, surely our attack should be good enough for Brighton. They're not exactly firing at the moment, aren't they? And they are conceding goals. So if we have to use Sonny, who's played something like 300 minutes in the past 2 games, something stupid like that. Oh, I can't do that actually. No, 200 minutes, isn't it? Because it went over 90, I think it was. Yeah. So roughly about that 200 minutes in the past 2 games. That's a big worrying sign for us if we have to use Sonny. You know what I mean? So for me, honestly, I'd hope he's not even on the bench and he's having a good rest. Yeah. And then we can deal with the Brighton team.
Send him for a holiday for a week, just to
exactly,
for a holiday for a week. But unfortunately, that's not how the cookie crumbles. Thank you for becoming a member international. I don't know if you renewed, if you remade your membership, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. This stream is actually going live here on Tottenham on Tour and as well on the Coffee Company. Please subscribe to the Coffee Company. You don't even have to leave the stream. You just need to click on the hyperlink that's in the title. It will take you straight to the Coffee Company. Please like and subscribe to the Coffee Company. It's our second channel here on Tottenham on Tour, and we're looking to grow that as another entity in its own self. That would really help us out a lot. We got a comment from Colin saying Sonny would have to have had on played on Saturday if he got through, so perhaps a place on the bench. Thoughts on this, Sir David?
Yeah, again, you know, like I said, if he's fit enough and there's no injuries and he feels like he can, 20 minutes, I'm fine with. Starting Sonny in a game like that against Brighton, you're risking so much, and he's more valuable in the latter games than he will be for these. Do you know what I mean? If we can't beat Brighton without Sonny, that's a massive telling point where we are as a club and where the team is. If we can't beat Brighton with what we got. So the whole point of Verma was to fill Sonny's boots while he's away in the Asian Cup and any injuries that occur. So, yeah, for me, I really don't want to see him starting. I just think it'd be a massive risk, and I think he won't be mentally as well. He won't be there because he's just watched his country go out in such a fashion. Do you know what I mean? Because they've been getting these late winners. They've been doing it really good. When you lose like that, they did to Jordan, where they literally offered no threat whatsoever, mentally, it's going to be exhausting for him as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, he needs a break. He really does just need a week off or something like that just to have, you know what I mean, that type of recuperation within himself as well as physically.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. This is the reason Sonny got his really bad injury in the first place with I don't know if it was his groin or is his abductor. I think it's the same muscle, to be honest.
Yeah, it's in the same place, isn't it? Yeah.
That is a really painful. I mean, I'm saying it from experience because I've got the same injury at the moment. It really hurts. Even sleeping is nasty. You turn in your sleep, you're in pain. So we've really got to, because he had strapping on his hand as well. He really does need a break. And Colin is saying we definitely need him for Wolves. They are on fire. They're a brilliant side. They are an absolutely brilliant side. Gary O'Neill is is an absolutely excellent manager. He's an excellent manager, and what a guy. Whose News is saying late refereeing standards in the Asia Cup meant late challenges, specifically stamps that went largely unpunished. I think it's referees not having guidelines. So
I'm trying to make the football entertaining, isn't it? They like the hard tackles, stuff like that. Pretty much same in the Championship, isn't it? You look at some of the challenges in the Championship, they're aggressive challenges, and the rest let them go because it's entertaining for them. That's the Asian Games, AFCON, and that are pretty much similar. They want that entertainment because they need it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're going to go on to our next headline, which is going to be a bit of fun. It's going to be a bit of fun, which is Chelsea are awful. And now Chelsea fans are now baying for the blood of Mauricio Pochettino, or as we like to call him here at the moment, Agent Poch. So news came out today all over the airwaves that if Pochettino is sacked by Chelsea, the amount of money they need to pay him out, which I think is in around the region of £10 million because he's got a really long contract, would send them into financial fair play trouble. This is really funny news, isn't it, David? It couldn't have gone worse for him. You've got Thiago Silva's missus calling him out on Twitter saying, oh, it's time for him to go. Why is Thiago not playing despite the fact he's 39 million years old and he can't play when he's that age in the Premier League? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, see, for me, I've always said about Poch, right, is he's not a big club manager, right? You know what I mean? He likes to go in a club that doesn't spend a lot of money because he doesn't like ego players. Right, that's why he did so well at Southampton, and that's why when he came to Tottenham at the time he did well with us because we didn't have you know what I mean. It weren't like we were at a position of greatness. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea have struggled. You know what I mean? They've struggled for a while now. They can't find the managers. The issues with Abramovich, Bowley, for me, he's a FIFA owner. Do you know what I mean? He thinks because he's rich, he comes in, splashes loads of money. This is the situation you get in when you don't actually sit down and think of a process you need. It's all right throwing loads of money in, and people say, oh, but you know what I mean? Money wins you trophies. No, it doesn't.
No,
if it's not done correctly. Do you know what I mean? Now, there's a mass amount of players there who I've heard that really want to leave.
Yeah.
who were on long contracts that no one's going to be able to buy them out of.
Yeah.
They sold their soul for no reason.
Yeah.
And Poch can be a good manager. I mean, he took us to a Champions League final, albeit, you know what I mean? He made mistakes in that game for me, but let's not go there. Chelsea at the moment are petulant. They're all a bunch of little children, them players are, yeah? You play for the club, you play for the badge, right? Regardless of how you feel about the manager, it shouldn't stop you from playing football. Now you got the news coming out of that they're not liking the training and stuff like that. How many times did we see that within Tottenham?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? About how the training's bad and all this. It's not. You're just not liking the manager, so you're making excuses now as to why you're playing bad. You're playing bad is because you're just playing bad. Too many big names, too many people who've got that big head on them, too many egos. Like Conte said with us, yeah, there's too many individuals within the team.
Yeah.
That's never going to work. Chelsea players need to sit down and have a good, long, hard chat with themselves and realize that the reason they're doing bad is because of them on the pitch as well. You know what I mean? Having a bad manager or hard training doesn't stop you from being able to pass a ball. Doesn't stop you from being able to make a tackle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they need to have a hard look at themselves as well.
Absolutely. We've seen Pochettino football for many years, and we saw that it does make winning football when it works, and when the team is all galvanized under a single leadership. It works really well. It drives teams, especially on a pitch like Stamford Bridge, where the pitch is really small, which means they press, and you get suffocated in that small little pitch. It might not work so much on a bigger pitch such as ours over a long period of time, but that's when you have tactics and you have training, you know when to press, when to hold off, when to do this. It's a disaster. It's really funny. It's really funny, and they're asking for Jose Mourinho back of all managers. They don't have the money to spend money on Jose Mourinho players because that's what he's going to want to do. Come into Chelsea, spend a load of money, and try and win a league title. That's what Jose Mourinho does, and they're not going to do it. They can't do it.
No, that's it. And the thing is, it's them long contracts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to be. If hypothetically they found a way, like they sold a player and managed to sack Poch and brought Jose in, yeah. If Chelsea fans think Jose's the answer, they're just deluded because the situation around that club. You add Jose to that, Christ, they'll be Save the Bridge all over again. Do you know what I mean? Because Bowley's not going to be able to sign any players because of obviously financial fair play, and them to try and sell some of the players they've got on the contracts teams can't afford them. You know what I mean? The teams that can spend money don't need the type of players Chelsea have got. So they've put themselves in a really, really bad, horrible situation at the moment, which is just in the end going to cause them even more dramas. Now, as rival fans, Tottenham are rivals to Chelsea, it's bloody beautiful to watch. As a football fan, you kind of sit there and think, what the hell's Bowley doing? He's an absolute fool. You know? He shouldn't have did what he did. He tried to flex his weight in the Premier League and instead just looks like a complete fool.
Absolutely. And this is the comment that for any Chelsea fan that is watching the stream, welcome to the stream. We do welcome any sort of fan here on Tottenham on Tour, and we want to listen to you. If you are a Chelsea fan, please put it in the comment section down below. Please put it in the comment section and let us know what you think of the way your club is being run. It really helps us out seeing the Premier League as a whole. But bang on the money from the #1 Agenbar in the world. Jose Mourinho does not like working with young players. He doesn't at all, unless they are absolute superstars already. He does not like. So if Jose Mourinho comes in, he won't want to work with them. He's going to have to sell half the team, and he can't sell half the team because he's got they're all on long contracts.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why it didn't make sense. I get why Bowley did it because it was an easier way for him to flex his money, basically, yeah? Get these young players, the likes of Mudryk and stuff like that, on stupid long contracts, spend a load of money on him, and look at me, look, I'm buying all these players and all that. Then he gone and got Poch, which was the wrong manager to start with,
Yeah.
He didn't exactly do, you know what I mean, lit up the managerial scene at PSG. Do you know what I mean? They hated him there. They wanted him out.
Yeah.
If they went a different...
Even as a club legend.
Yeah.
Legend.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? If they took their time and picked the right manager, Chelsea could be in a really good position. But they needed a manager who could deal with egos, but also, you know what I mean, develop the players. Poch never really had that of developing youth. I mean, at Spurs, he had what? I think it was like... There weren't even... Can you pick a player of youth that Poch actually developed?
The only one was Delhi, which he made really good, but then he actually ruined him by telling him to get his aggression out of his game. So he was very good in some cases, but very bad in other cases. Most of the players he brought in at Tottenham were not youth players. Carl Walkers, Jan Vertonghen's, Toby Alderweireld, Wanyama, Dembele. The only one you could say he nurtured was Harry Kane, but Harry Kane was going to be a genius. Whether he he was already going to be a genius, and it's a funny thing. They chose the manager they really needed was Carlo Ancelotti. That's probably the manager they needed.
Yeah,
that's probably the manager they needed. But they already sacked him twice, so they can't bring him back.
No. Yeah, that's it. They Bowley rushed everything he did, and you know what I mean, Chelsea are in the position they are now because of this. You know what I mean? They got the owner they wanted, who was going to try and do what Abramovich did and spend loads of money, so they're up there.
Yeah.
But Bowley doesn't have that footballing side of him. Do you know what I mean? He's a kid with a toy.
Yeah.
And he's just playing with that toy. Do you know what I mean? And Chelsea fans need to realise that they could blame Poch all they want.
Yeah.
But they need to start pointing at the players, and they need to start pointing at their owner as well, because it's not just Poch's fault. I mean, you stick majority of managers within that position, and they're going to have the same situation. There's only a select few managers that can deal with what's going on at Chelsea at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's fun to watch, but as a neutral, if you want to look at it from non-rival aspect of it, it's their owner that's caused all this, not Poch.
It's many, but it absolutely is. Chelsea is that's the thing. That is the history of Chelsea. It goes really well for a few seasons. They implode. They spend a load of money. They rebuild. They do well for another few years. They because they don't have that. They've never had like 15 years of dominance.
No.
Because they've never really until 2004 they were a nothing club really until Roman Abramovich bought them. But yeah, they're going to have to learn how to be a club again. They're going to have to learn how to act like a normal club, and that's going to be a struggle.
Oh yeah, that's going to be. See, the thing is, previously when they had issues, that was due to obviously funding. The issue they got now is they've got an owner who hasn't got a clue about football. They got an owner who just wants to throw money in and think that's how you become a club. It's not. The whole situation around Chelsea at the moment, they need to sort it out big time.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not just Poch, it's not just the owner, it's the players as well. They need a hard look at themselves. They can sit there and whinge and moan as much as they want, but they're still the ones on the pitch. They're still a footballer. If your manager tells you to stay on the wing, but you see a position to go and score, you get in that position to go score.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see a pass, but the manager wants you to pass forward, but you could lose the ball and you pass to the right, you don't. You're going to make that pass to the right.
Yeah.
So it's not all down on the manager. Do you know what I mean? It's the players on the pitch as well. And they need a hard look at themselves because they're all expensive players. I mean, Mudryk was 100 million?
100 million.
Yeah. Fernandes and Enzo.
20 million, something stupid.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And they can sit there and whinge. I think Fernandes wants to leave Chelsea. You know what I mean? Other players want to leave Chelsea because of the situation. And it's like, you know what I mean? If you look at it, it's like the players jumping over to Saudi now. They've seen the money. They've seen the big, oh, look at me, great sound. I'm going to jump over there. Yeah. When they get there, life ain't exactly rosy for them. And now they're in a situation where no one can afford them. Yeah. Who, in the right mind at the moment, is going to go and spend 120 million or even 100 million on Enzo Fernandes when he's not performing?
Yeah.
Same as Mudryk. Do you know what I mean? He's a pace merchant. He's basically
Nicholas Jackson's another one. Nicholas Jackson. No one's going to buy Nicholas Jackson. The only one they could probably sell is Nkunku because he looks really good, that boy. But his injury record is ridiculous.
It's terrible. Yeah.
We've got a super chat from Mr. Ray the Yid. Good to see you in the house, Ray. Thank you so much. The Guardians of the Pombo saying Chelsea's in the mud. Got to love Poch. Hashtag Poch in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you really need to support Tottenham on tour, please send the super chat. It really helps us out. It helps us reinvest into the channel and stuff like that. And now we're on to the final topic of the show before we end. So it has been confirmed that Basuma has malaria. I don't know where that's going to come in to the thing. How do you think this is going to play out, David? Malaria is a bit of a tricky one. He was on the bench for a few of those games, so it might not be too bad. But you hear the word malaria and you think, oh, God, malaria.
Yeah, well, I seen a post this morning. I was Googling because someone in obviously the Tottenham on tour chat mentioned in there about him. Can he play? Can he be in the UK and stuff like that? The African manager of is it Mali he plays for?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mali. He turned around and obviously said that Biss and another player played with malaria.
Yeah.
Now the other player's worse than Basuma because apparently Basuma's from West Africa, they're more used to malaria than this other player from where he's from. So it's one of them. We're gonna have to manage him because obviously with malaria you get the flare-ups, don't you? So you know what I mean. We're gonna have to be very careful with him. But I think he's being assessed. I think it's today, innit? I think he's being assessed or he's being looked at by obviously, you know what I mean, our doctors and stuff like that at Tottenham. It's a little bit of a worry.
Saw his arm off. The Tottenham medical team going to saw his arm off.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm waiting for him to turn around and say he needs surgery, even though surgery won't help him with malaria. I'm swear down, they just like putting our players through surgery. Yeah. So you know what I mean. But it's dependent on how bad he's getting it. By the sounds of it, hopefully not too bad. But at the end of the day, if he has a flare up, you know what I mean, and we need him, it could be a bad thing. So it's one of them, innit? You got to wait and see what our doctors think about it, really, and see if they can manage it with treatment and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because we really do need Basuma at the moment because Bentancur is not he's not playing well because he's not fit. He's come back from 2 really bad injuries and he's not fit. He needs some time off. So it's really. Do you play another player in Basuma? Do you try a different strategy at the weekend at Brighton? Because we really do need Benson. We do need that number 6 in the middle of the park. What does everyone think in the comments and in the chat? What would you do in terms of Bentancur? Do you play him for half the game? Do you see if he's fit? What do you do? What would you do, David?
Personally, I think he needs to be played. He is the biggest issue with Bentancur. He was out for so long with that injury he had, and then to get one literally on his first start back, he just needs game times. Do you know what I mean? He just needs to get game in his legs, get used to it and stuff like that. He hasn't exactly been incredible since he's come back, which, you know what I mean, people have slated him for, and it's like, well, you don't understand how long he's been out. He hasn't played football for a very long time, and at the moment our midfield is pretty stretched. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we've only just got Sarr back, Maddison's just come back, and you know what I mean, Skip and Højbjerg need to leave the club.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean, it's not exactly like
sorry.
But
sorry,
you know
LA.
what I mean. If we want to progress as a club, these are the type of players we can't keep. Do you know what I mean? Højbjerg wants to go. It's been known that he wants to leave. He wants to move on and get game time. So when a player's in that position, his head's not going to be there fully. Do you know what I mean? And we've seen it in games where he's made consistent mistakes that have nearly led to a goal or a silly pass here or stuff like that. That for me is because
he starts games, does he? He doesn't play well with ball.
No. Coming on the sub, he's been fantastic. Oh my God! Like the game, who was it against? Who did we play before Everton? Brentford, when he came on, I think it was, the game changed a bit. Do you know what I mean? Because he came on, he had that.
He calms the game down. He's a calmer.
Exactly, yeah. But when you're starting a game, you don't need that. You need someone who's a bit more aggressive, a bit more front foot. Do you know what I mean? You don't want calm game at the beginning. You want really aggressive style of football. For the weekend, I mean, Bentancur, Maddison, and I think Sarr could do it. I think Sarr could do it in that position.
Yeah.
He's a workhorse. He can do the dirty work. He's good at breaking down play. He can close down players. He can pass the ball, and he's very calm on the ball. So for me, I'd go Sarr, Maddison, Bentancur.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I mean, even keeping Bentancur on for, say, 60 minutes? Let him get that game time. Do you know what I mean? See how the game's going. And then you can always switch Sarr into that position and then put on a Højbjerg or a Skip just to close out the game if that's what we need to do. Do you know what I mean? But there's not really many options we've got at the moment with Lo Celso being injured. Kulusevski's way off it at the moment. He has been dreadful. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on with him, but he can't do anything. He can't pass. He can't take on a player, and he just loses the ball. So, you know what I mean? I'd go Sarr, Maddison, and Bentancur. Donnelly, we could use Donnelly, but I don't think he can start a game. I don't think Donnelly's ready.
Didn't he get in a little niggly injury?
I haven't heard anything.
No, I don't know.
No.
Either way, before we go, please let us know in the comment section down below who you would start in the game. Comments really help the algorithm out. It really helps us push the channel to more people. So please put comments in the comment section down below. And let's see what James is saying. Johnson and Richie up top. That played them so he was saying 3-5-2 earlier and played Johnson and Richarlison up top. That's an idea.
It's an idea.
It's an idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea, and it'll allow Dragusin to come in and cover them bloody. What's his name? Is it Byrne? Is it the lanky bloody defender?
Yeah,
it'd be great to cover him because we are dreadful at set pieces at the moment, which I don't understand why. I like the idea of 3-5-2. Ange won't play it. Ange has got one system for some reason. Unless it's like, you know what I mean, the last 5-10 minutes of a game, he won't. I don't think he'll start with a 3-5-2.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it, to see how we play with a you know what I mean, with Van de Ven, Romero, and Dragusin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just can't see Ange doing it. I'd like to see it, but no, I don't think Ange will do it. I think he'll stick with the same system he has done all season, which, as we can see, closing out a game, that's a bit of an issue. You know what I mean? You start with one system for 75, 80 minutes, 85 minutes, and then go to a 3 at the back. That's why we're conceding goals, is because he's doing it too late on in the game, and it kind of messes up the system a little bit. And players like, well, what am I doing? Blah, 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 and they make silly mistakes. I mean, the goal we conceded against Everton, it was a silly foul by Kulusevski. He didn't need to make that foul.
Yeah.
There was no threat there. And then the defending, Romero tried.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? If he didn't go for that ball, the player behind him was going to score anyway. I think it was behind him.
Fight, wasn't it?
That's it, yeah. Yeah. He would have got the ball anyway. You know what I mean? So it's just one of them. It's frustrating. But once it works, and once we've seen the first 10 games of the season, right? When it works, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
When players are fully fit. Bear in mind, Van de Ven's not long come back from a really bad injury, and he's been, wow, he is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Romero, do you know what I mean? He's one of them. He's such a fantastic defender. He is our best defender. And I know people will criticize me for that, but he is. Yeah. He's unbelievable. But little mistakes in the end game, concentration, that's what Ange needs to start getting into him as well. Is closing down a game. You don't need to attack when you're winning a game with 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
You need to slow it down. You need to break play down. You need to
calm the game, pass them to death, like a Man City would do, like Barca used to do in their prime.
Exactly, yeah. Get to the corner flag. Get to the corner flag and stand there. Do you know what I mean? Hold the ball there for a couple of seconds if you can, because it frustrates the other team, as well as protecting yourself from conceding them late goals.
Yeah. Right, everyone. That's our time up for the Morning Brew show. We're going to keep this as a short show. We're going to be doing some of these pre-recorded. Some of these are going to be live. We're going to try our best to get as many of them live as possible from the coffee show. I am at home today because I've got to get my blood sucked by the phlebotomist. But David, where can we find you, buddy?
Yeah, you can find me over on Twitter at Rodrigo Roadman. If you don't mind, Ben, can I call out someone else? A really good friend of the show, Sean Slater from the Guardians of the Pomber. He had his Twitter completely blocked off and knocked out. Do you know what I mean? So we started a new one. So if everyone can, you know what I mean, whoever followed him, he's trying to get all his old followers back and stuff like that. So it's Sean Slater at Sean Slater. THFC on Twitter, yeah. Just because he's struggling to get everyone back who he used to, you know what I mean, connect with and stuff like that. So he asked me this morning, as I knew he was doing this show, if I could give him a little call out just to help him and that. So, yeah, but if you want to find me, it's Rodrigo Roadman on Twitter. And, yeah, lovely show. It's been a great show.
Great stuff. And a final reminder, if you've not subbed already to the coffee company, do us a favor. Click on the @ in the title. It will take you straight to the coffee company. And I have set this stream to redirect to the coffee company. So you've got literally no excuse to not sub to the coffee company. Get us closer to 700 subs on our second channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your morning. And as always, if you smell what the Kauff is brewing. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Ciao for now.